What's up, guys? We are back with Revenge from Mars. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on upgrading the software on the Revenge from Mars. There's some guys that are putting out custom code for this machine. A lot of people are wanting to update the code on these machines to that new software. Or a lot of guys are just stuck on old software and they want to update to the newest factory version, which I believe the newest one that's readily available is version 1.5. So you can actually see that right now I'm running 2.10, which is that custom code that I was talking about, and I'll show you guys where to get that at. I am running factory hardware, so nothing has changed in the back box. Everything is, as far as the computer side goes of it, that's all factory. So I'm going to show you guys what you need to do in order to get this code to run on factory hardware as well as the version 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what we need to do in order to get this thing prepped for updating. You'll find inside your coin door, hopefully it hasn't been removed, but you'll find the null modem cable adapter here in the coin door. So there's a cable that actually runs from here, it goes along the inside of the body all the way upside, and then it comes up to this area right here. So this cable is the one that goes all the way back into the coin box. What you need to make sure of, the important thing is, you need to make sure that this ribbon cable is actually plugged into COM port 1. There's two different ports down there that are close to each other. There's a COM port 1 and then there's a port 2. So just make sure that this null modem cable, this ribbon cable, is plugged into COM port 1. I've heard issues of people having, from the factory, that ribbon cable is plugged into the wrong area. So check that first, make sure that that's plugged into the correct area. Alright, so here's some of the hardware we're going to be needing. The first thing is going to be this USB to null modem cable. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was 18 bucks. I'll put a link in the description so that way you guys can get this exact one if you want it. It didn't give me any issues. I didn't have to, go and search for drivers or anything like that. It came with a driver CD, so I just downloaded the drivers off of the CD and it worked perfectly. The second thing you're going to need is a USB flash drive. This one is a 16 gig. You don't need 16 gig, but that's what I had. Just make sure that you format the USB that you're going to be using and make sure that it doesn't have any files on it. So you want a clean, fresh USB flash drive. All right, so let's talk about the software you're going to need in order to get this thing updated. First thing that I did was I decided which ROM update I wanted to put on my pin. So you have two options right now. You can do the version 2.10 from My Pinballs, which is the custom code, or you can go ahead and grab the factory code, which I think the newest readily available version is 1.5. So let's go ahead and we'll do that one. You're going to head over to reference material, and this one's from Planetary Pinball. So reference material, then you're going to head over to Williams Valley Technical Support. You're going to go to the ROM software library, Pinball 2000, and then you're going to go to Game Software Files and Upgrades. And you can see here they have RFM, and then they also have Star Wars. So 1.5 is the newest here. You're going to make sure that you download the program and sound ROMs, so that way everything gets updated correctly. You're just going to come through and hit agree, and then it'll go ahead and start your download to wherever you have it in your computer to download to. Other option is from mypinballs.com. It's pretty simple, just hit download now and then it'll just download it to whatever file you select. The second portion of software you're going to need, it can be found at this brianpeak.com/pinball2000. I'll make sure I put links to all of these sites in the description. Right here, right at the page, you'll see it's going to be a little bit down. You're going to do download fupdate here. So it's going to be after this fupdate exe. You'll find the link there. Same thing, you're going to click download that, and it's going to be a zip file. So that'll, once you download that, you should have everything that you need in order to start dumping onto your USB flash drive. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so now that we got all our files downloaded, I went ahead and I plugged in my USB drive. It's right there, and I just renamed it. You can just rename it, but I just renamed it Pinball. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's just what I got because I'm going to be using this one for all of my pinball updates for this machine. So what we need to do is find the files that you downloaded, which was the fupdate file, and then also you want to locate your ROM file as well that you downloaded, whether you got the Planetary Pinball ROM file or if you're going to be using the version 2.1 update file, just whatever one you want. So the one I'm going to be using is version 1.5, and what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to transfer these two files into our E drive here. So the way that we do that, first I'm going to go ahead and do the fupdate first. So I'm going to right click to highlight, and then I'm sorry, left click to highlight, then right click, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to extract all, okay? And we're going to extract these files into the E drive, okay? Into our USB, so we'll go ahead and extract. And on your guys's, it may put it in somewhere else. It could be an E drive, it could be G, it could be F, you know, just whatever is open, that's where it'll put it. So after it finishes extracting, this is what you'll be left with. You'll have 4 files here. These are the 4 that'll extract out of that fupdate zip file. Okay, so we got that done. And then after we do that, we're gonna go ahead and just drag and drop our ROMs into our USB drive. So there's those. Okay, so that one is there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna extract these. So I just double click and it should start extracting. There we go. All right, so when you do this, you just wanna make sure that you're not putting the ROM files or the fupdate in any other new file or anything like that. Just make sure that it's on the directory, on the main directory, okay? So don't create any other additional files. Just leave this the way it is, because it'll save you on having to run more command line whenever you're trying to run the command prompt portion of this install. Okay, so that's what it should look like. After you do this, then the next thing to do is just hook up your computer to the pin 2000, and we'll show you guys how to do that next. All right, so on to the next step. A few things you want to do is connect your USB and then your null modem. You want to go ahead and plug it into the front of the door right here. Okay, you want to make sure that your pinball is on and that it is in attract mode. It doesn't have to be in any kind of a specific menu or anything like that. If for some reason you're missing the connection down here, because I've seen them where they're ripped out, you can actually just bypass it, and then you can plug your the other end of your USB cable to right here. Your no modem connection will screw right in there. It's the same thing, so no big deal. So once you have that done, we'll go ahead and we'll switch our ports on our USB cable. Make sure that it's in COM port 1, and I'll show you how to do that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our USB to no modem cable is on COM port 1, and we're going to go ahead and hit start. We're going to go to control panel, device manager. Just going to hit yes, and then you're going to look for COM ports right there. So it's ports, COM, and LPT. You're going to double click our USB serial port cable. That's the name of our USB to no modem cable, and right now it is on COM port 1. Let's just pretend for some reason it wasn't. The way that you switch these, and you can swap these around. If there's something already taking up COM port 1, you can just hit properties, then you can, or right click, hit properties, and then you hit port settings, advanced, and then you can go ahead and move it to another available open port, so that way it'll open at port 1, and then you can just change your USB serial port same way. Right click, properties, port settings, advanced, and then you can switch that over to COM port 1. Okay, then you just hit OK, OK, and so that's the way it should look. Okay, USB serial port, COM port 1. All right, so now that we got our machine hooked up to the computer with the cable, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start running our command line, okay? The way that you do this is you gotta get into command prompt on your computer. It should look like this. If it's not on the start menu, then go ahead and just type in command on your search, and it should pop up somewhere within your computer. So once you find it, on mine I have to run it as administrator. So the way you do that is you just right click, you run as administrator, you just hit yes. Okay, so right now I'm currently in drive C, and what I have to do is I have to get into drive E, because that's where all of the files are stored. It's not that USB drive, so it's in here. So I gotta get my command prompt into the E drive. So how I do that is I just type in E colon, and now I'm in E drive, okay? And this is where I'm gonna run my main, pretty much I'm gonna start downloading. And like I said, you can switch that if you, for some reason, if your USB drive is in F, if it just found a spot open in F or X or Y, all you have to do is just type in the letter of whatever drive it's in, and then hit colon, and then hit enter, and it should take you in there. After you do this, I went ahead and I just copied and pasted this, but I'll have this in the description. You're gonna run this command line, okay? So it's gonna be fupdate space dash fpin2000, right? And then you have all this here, and you just wanna make sure that this is on COM1, because if you remember, when we changed our USB cable over to COM1, it's going to send over this communication. It's going to try and use COM1 to communicate to the pin 2000. So just make sure that that's on COM1, and I'll make sure that that is correct in the description as well. So now all you have to do is hit enter. Okay, so now all you have to do is just hit enter, and it's going to start updating. And what you'll see is the game was in attract mode. You don't have to go into any kind of a special menu or anything like that. And then all of a sudden it just starts to update. Update in progress. It takes about 10 minutes. And once the 10 minutes is up, it should display a message saying, you know, that the update was successful, and then it'll just restart. I'll try and get a video of that once it's finished, but we'll cut over to that. Okay, so the game just finished updating. It says flash update complete, invalidating an update, please wait. And no errors, resetting machine. So it was successful. So now all it's gonna do is just reboot. All right, and there we go. You can see we're at version 1.5. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's ready to go. Just got to button everything up and start playing some Revenge from Mars. Hopefully this video helped somebody out. I know I was struggling with this update process for about 4 hours last night before I finally figured out something that was that worked out for me. So hopefully it'll work out for one of you guys. If this video did help you guys out, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment, and I'll keep on making these videos if they're going to be beneficial to the pinball community. Otherwise, you guys take it easy. Keep flipping.